God, our shortcomings. Let the blood of Jesus cleanse us from all unrighteousness. And as we move into this business, we are asking, Lord, that you help us. Direct, O God, and guide us. Thank you, for in Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Please let us remain seated. For purpose of this engagement, we'll try to be as brief and as snappy as possible. And that's because our guests will be on a road tour. And thereafter, they will be received by His Excellency the Governor before they now lead over 10,000 youths of Akwa Ibom State to the amphitheater, still in the spirit of Christmas celebration. While we welcome our guests, I also like to appeal to our members to please exercise some level of patience as we are set to proceed. We are gathered today at the instance of youths in Akwa Ibom State, and is being led by the Honorable Commissioner, Minister of Youth Development, Dr. Alphonsus Ekanem. In the fullness of time, they will tell us why we are gathered here. I would have loved to mention to us, but I will be seen to be a political chairman. So I will allow the youths of Akwa Ibom State to tell us why we are here. I'd like to run down a very brief introduction on the personalities that are here, and also like to introduce some of the leaders of the union to our guests that are here too. And so let me start by my far right, the chairman, Akwa Ibom State Environmental Protection and Waste Management Agency, Prince Akpan Ikam. And our boss and principal, the Honorable Commissioner, Ministry of Information and Strategy, Comrade Elder Aniekan Omana, PhD. We also have the member speaking for the very good people of Oron Federal Constituency, Rep. Martins Essen. Also in our midst is the youngest commissioner in charge of youth development in Nigeria, Honorable Commissioner, Minister of Youth Development, Akwa Ibom State, Dr. Alphonsus Ekanem. We have the members speaking for the good people of Abak Ika, Etemekbo Federal Constituency, Honorable Clement Jimbo. A friend to the NUJ, friend of the media, Dr. Akem Emmanuel John, Honorable Commissioner, Minister of Health. The man of the season, Commissioner in charge of Culture and Tourism in Akwa Ibom State, a friend of the media too, Dr. Anieti Udofia. Also like to introduce to us my friend and my brother, the member speaking for the very good people of Uyo State Constituency. We call him Capo. Honorable. Honorable Uwemedimo Asukwo. You know, when you are so close to your friend, you forget their real names. We also have a former member, Uyo State Constituency, Honorable Monde Eyo, a.k.a. More. We also have in our midst the immediate past member, in the state constituency, Honorable Emmanuel Ekpenyong. And our midst also is my friend, the number 2 citizen of Akwa Ibom State, Mr. Daniel Yari. Dear colleagues, we also have a director of admin in the Ministry of Youth Development. We also have in our midst the Senior Special Assistant to His Excellency on Youth Matters. The leader of the Akwa Ibom State House of Assembly is here, Honorable Otobong Bob. He also doubles as a member speaking for the very good and industrious people of Nsurubium State Constituency. Very distinguished colleagues, we have also our colleagues whom we have loaned to the government of Akwa Ibom State. I'll start by recognizing my predecessor in office, Comrade Amos Etuk, SSA to the governor on local media. We also have the SA to His Excellency the governor on electronic media, Comrade Samuel Ayara. Very distinguished guests, let me introduce to us some members of the leadership structure of the NUJ. The Vice Chairman, Comrade Margaret Moore of the Ministry of Information. A Zonal Trustee, Comrade Gabriel Ekaidem. We also have the Treasurer of the State Council, Comrade Eme Hosea. The Assistant Secretary, Comrade Akai. Financial Secretary, Kufre Emmanuel. Comrade Dianime Uko is the Auditor of the State Council. Let me use the chairman of all the chapel chairmen, Comrade Grace Udoma, to recognize every other chapel leaders here present. Dean of Secretaries. Let me recognize the Dean of Secretaries. Where is he? Comrade Linus Udoma. Let me recognize the chairman of our campaign council, Comrade Elder Ederokbo, PhD. The director of information, Comrade Aniekan Ukbong, is also Chief Aniekan Ukbong is also here. I cited the Chancellor of Cooper. Is he still here? Okay, but it's outside. Comrade Telefon Morgan. We also have in our midst the SA to His Excellency on ICT, Comrade Solomon Ayo. The DG of Campaigns of the NUJ, Akwa Ibom State Council, Comrade Edifon Solomon. The commissioner was asking if you are maintaining the DG. We said yes. Let me also recognize a former treasurer of the State Council, Comrade Udwak Ephraim. Very distinguished colleagues, I'd like to thank you for the patience you exhibited while we're waiting for our guests to arrive. And I trust that this engagement is not only going to bring us up to speed with what the youth of Akwa Ibom State intends to do today, it will also offer us an opportunity to have an interaction with the leadership structure of the Akwa Ibom State youths, bearing in mind also that these are people that understand the responsibilities of the media. We also plead with you to make contributions in line with why we are gathered today. If you have any other concern outside the scope of our engagement today, please keep it for some other time. But I trust that the personalities here are strong enough to entertain every concern that you would want to raise. On that note, very distinguished colleagues. Yes. No, it's for you. On that note, very distinguished colleagues, we'd like to take the first shot from the member representing Oron Federal Constituency, Honorable Martin Sesson, who also doubles as the chairman of the planning committee of this event. And thereafter, the Honorable Commissioner, Minister of Youth, will also speak to us. Then all the questions that we have will be entertained by all of them here present. And at the end of the engagement, the Honorable Commissioner will make a remark before we call it a day. Let me invite to address us the member representing the good people of Oron Federal Constituency, Honorable Martin Sesson.
Thank you very much for having me. The chairman of the Nigerian Union of Journalists, Akwa Ibom State, ladies and gentlemen of the press, respected leaders of Akwa Ibom State here present, the teeming youth population of Akwa Ibom State. We invited you here on behalf of the teeming youth to carry out a patriotic act, an act we believe will help reinforce the gains recorded in the past 2.5 years and sustain Nigerians' current trajectory towards an economically viable, well-structured, sustainably prosperous, and globally respected nation under the leadership of His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR. Through the instrumentality of the Renewed Hope Agenda, this is the first administration since 1999 that has demonstrated courage to take very tough decisions in order to set the nation on the path of genuine economic growth and sustainable development, as well as implement policies that promote true federalism. We are all aware of how successive administrations lamented about fuel subsidy as public revenues were taking an inexorable downturn. Development halted across states, with most states incapable of meeting basic obligations like payment of salaries to staff and pensions to retirees. Today, the story is different. With increased revenue occasioned by the removal of the controversial fuel subsidy, life has returned to the states and local government areas, with developmental projects dotting the landscape and social investment programs beneficial to the youth, children, and the aged implemented at all levels of government. Significantly, this is the third consecutive Christmas Nigerians have experienced in recent history of their nation without fuel scarcity, leading to the endless queues at filling stations with corresponding impacts on movements as well as goods and services. The youth of Akwa Ibom State have observed with satisfaction the leadership acumen and legislative dexterity of His Excellency Senator Godswill Ubot Akpabio, GCON, in his capacity as the President of the 10th Senate and Chairman of the National Assembly. It is noteworthy that most of the seemingly tough but unarguable patriotic policies made by the executive arm of government under President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, which are beginning to yield positive impacts, require legislative backing to become operational. The nation needed a man of Senator Godswill Akpabio's courage, patriotism, foresight, wit, and charm to ensure the support of the National Assembly for the rebirth of the nation. So it is impossible to acknowledge the President without doing same for a man who ensures that well-intentioned government policies aren't scuttled at the National Assembly. Indeed, Senate President Godswill Akpabio, GCON, has shown that he is the right man for the job he is currently doing for Nigeria. In Akwa Ibom State, His Excellency Pastor Umo Eno, PhD, is revolutionizing governance through the Arise agenda. Under his leadership, Akwa Ibom State is an emerging aviation hub in the nation, with the strengthening of Ibom Air, the completion of the international terminal and other facilities at the Victor Atta International Airport, as well as the ongoing construction of the aviation village. In just 2.5 years, the administration of His Excellency Pastor Moino, PhD, has completed the construction of about 1,000 kilometers of road across the state. The impact of this effort on youth employment and the economic prosperity of the state cannot be quantified. For the first time in the history of Akwa Ibom State, people-oriented projects such as the Arise Compassionate Homes, model schools, model healthcare centers are simultaneously spread across the 31 local government areas of Akwa Ibom State. To underscore his interest in the welfare of the people, especially the elderly, he has so far spent about 70 billion naira to clear the backlog of gratuities and pensions that were accumulated many years ago. Through the Ibom Leadership and Entrepreneur Development Center, Ibom LED, and the Dakada Skills Acquisition Center, Pastor Umoino, PhD, is practically empowering thousands of Akwa Ibom youths with skills that do not only make them self-reliant, but have impact and giving them the wherewithal to run businesses in the future. Under his leadership, local government councils are undertaking mega projects that were hitherto considered impossible, and this level of government is dominated by the youth demography. The appointment of ward personal assistants, appointment of supervisors from the wards, and the establishment of Ibom Community Watch are some of Pastor Moino's policies that directly benefit the youth of Akwa Ibom State. Today, some key ministries, departments, and agencies of government have been entrusted in the hands of the youth by the governor, while young people who demonstrate requisite capacity have been awarded contracts running into millions and billions of naira, all in a bid to further youth development in Akwa Ibom State. Meanwhile, the free and compulsory education His Excellency inherited from his predecessors is not only on course, it has been improved upon with the addition of free exercise books, sandals, and school bags, all produced in Akwa Ibom State, while a health insurance scheme has been introduced to make health care accessible to all Akwa Ibom people, including the poor and vulnerable. Above all, the governor's inclusive leadership style and humane disposition have helped to unite the state to an unprecedented degree in its 38 years of existence. Akwa Ibom State is now one big family without ethnic tensions. In view of the foregoing and many more reasons we can't state here for the constraints of time, the teeming youth of Akwa Ibom State believe strongly that the nation needs continuity for the consolidation of the landmark achievements that have been recorded by both the federal government and the Akwa Ibom State government in this dispensation. It is on this note that we, the youth of Akwa Ibom State, under the aegis of Akwa Ibom Youth United, hereby endorse President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, Senator Goswe Obot Akpabio, GCON, and Pastor Umoino, PhD, for a second term in office beyond 2027. Thank you all, and God bless you.
Thank you very much, the member representing Oron Federal Constituency. Very dear colleagues, you've listened attentively to what the member just read to us, except that I don't know if the commissioner would have one or two things to add, so that I can take questions once and for all. Would you, sir?
The chairman, Nigerian Union of Journalists, Akwa Ibom State, members of the press, the chairman, Federal House of Representative Committee on Youth, other members of the State Executive Council, the legislature, stakeholders of youth, gentlemen of the press, and thank you so very much for coming out today to grace this important occasion. This event becomes very necessary following the achievements of His Excellency, Pastor Umo Obasieno, PhD, the man whom God has sent at this particular point in time to bring Akwa Ibom together. All the parties, every person, regardless of tribe, regardless of political affiliation, has come to be united under one unity government, ably led by Pastor Umo Obasieno, the Executive Governor of Akwa Ibom State. It becomes also imperative for the youth of Akwa Ibom State to come together to make a statement following the achievements and youth development initiative of His Excellency Pastor Umo Obasieno since assumption in office. Pastor Umoino has done probably well for the teeming youth population that makes up about 60% of the total population of the states, ranging from the building the recent flag off of the youth-friendly centers in the 31 local government areas of the states, with the 11 pilot centers currently ongoing. 2, the free and compulsory education earlier mentioned, traders grants, agricultural grants, equipment grants given to the youth, and a lot more. Today, as part of the activities to mark this event, we are going to commission an automobile workshop, an ultra-modern automobile workshop for a female youth who has made himself a mechanic. She's a technician. His Excellency had promised to set up the automobile workshop for her during the World International Women's Day that was held in 2025. And being a promise keeper, he has made that to come to reality. So today, leaving this place, we are going to have that place commissioned with ultra-modern tools. And in her words of the beneficiary, she is equipped with the tools that you can hardly find around Akwa Ibom State or its environs. So therefore, that place is going to serve a lot of purposes. It's going to help other young people to be trained. It's also helped to diagnose and service our vehicles, especially those that we used to take out of the states in times of needs. In all of this, and with the peaceful nature of His Excellency the Governor, who had for the first time appointed up to 40 aides as aides to the governor on youth matters. This is the first time as well we will have a governor that will appoint 368 personal assistants from the wards, that is from each of the wards. That is to say that, and in addition, have supervisors from the wards. And most of these persons are young people within the demography of the youth population. So as a result of all of this, the youth of Akwa Ibom State had come under one umbrella of Akwa Ibom Youth United to support and endorse His Excellency Pastor Mo Basieno for second term in office. And because we are under one progressive, we are united under one progressive. So we also join His Excellency Pastor Mo Basieno to endorse Bola Ahmed Tinubu for second term in office as a senator. And for those in Ikot-Ekpene Senatorial District, join to support His Excellency to endorse distinguished Senator Godswill Uborok-Babio so that he can return as a Senate President again to represent Akwa Ibom State. Thank you very much. Thank you, Akwa Ibom.
Thank you, Honorable Commissioner. We'll proceed straight to the question and answer session. I don't want to forget, member representing Oron and Honorable Commissioner, this event is being live. So one of the viewers sent in a question that I should ask you why the youths are only endorsing these three persons, the President of the Federal Republic, President of the Senate, and Governor of Akwa Ibom State. Okay. Very dear colleagues, let me pause and then allow the leadership structure here to proceed with what they want to do. Thereafter, we'll take the question and answer session.
Thank you again, the chairman of the Nigerian Union of Journalists, Akwa Ibom State Council, and ladies and gentlemen of the press, respected leaders and dignitaries that have joined us in this press briefing. We greet specially the youths of Akwa Ibom State, on whose behalf we are seated here this morning to address the press. When you recognize that demography constitutes over 60% of the total population of the states. Now, we are going to pass a message from the teeming youth population, and it's going to be loud and clear. And the message is going to form in form of emotion, because we have parliamentarians also seated here who are also young persons in government in Akwa Ibom State. It is my singular privilege and honor to invite to move a motion for the adoption and endorsement of His Excellency, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, and His Excellency, the President of the Senate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and the Chairman of the National Assembly for a second term, and His Excellency, the Governor of Akwa Ibom State, our performing governor and leader, Pastor Umar Basi Eno, PhD, for a second term in office, 2027 and beyond. So I now invite the leader of the Akwa Ibom State House of Assembly, the Right Honorable Otobong Effiong Bob, to move a motion for the adoption of these three leaders by the youth of Akwa Ibom State. I invite Right Honorable Otobong Bob, please.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, other members of the Planning Committee, members of the National Assembly, my colleagues in the State House of Assembly, everyone else here, the Chairman of the NUJ, ladies and gentlemen of the press. My name is Otobong Bob, and I am the member speaking for Akwa State House of Assembly in the Akwa Ibom State House of Assembly, and coincidentally, the youngest legislator in Akwa Ibom State and one of the longest in the country. And it is my pleasure, and with utmost humility and respect, to move a motion this morning, having witnessed the superlative performance of our President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who has done a lot for the country, has done a lot for the youths of Nigeria, and in particular Akwa Ibom State, and also our Senate President, who has always championed the cause of the youths of Akwa Ibom State and the youths in Nigeria. And lastly, our governor, the very youth-friendly governor, who is leading Akwa Ibom youths with passion and is encouraging us and moving us to the next level. So I stand here today, having seen and witnessed and can testify to their great performance, not just in the youth demographic, but across all structures and tenets in the state and in the country. I stand here to move a motion for the adoption of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu as the sole candidate for the youths of Akwa Ibom State in the next general election, the 2027 election. I also stand here to move for the adoption of Senator Godswill Akpabio as the sole candidate for the youths of Ikot-Ekpene Senatorial District in the 2027 election, so that he can go back by the grace of God and by the grace of his colleagues and the grace of our party, the APC, to be the Senate President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And lastly, and definitely not the least, our leader, our governor, Pastor Umoino, to be the sole candidate for the youths of Akwa Ibom State in the next election, 2027, to lead us with grace and with passion up until the year 2031. I so move. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.
The youth here present, I remain Honorable Wemedi Modiana Basesokwo, member representing the good people of Uyo State constituency, and by the special grace of God, the landlord of that very assembly. I stand tall with my full chest to second the motion ably moved by the leader of the 8th Assembly, Right Honorable Otobong Bob. I so second.
Motion moved, motion seconded. I now put the question. Those in support of this motion as moved and seconded, say aye. Aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Mandate song. On your mandate we shall stand.
On your mandate we shall stand. On your mandate. On your mandate. On your mandate we shall stand. On your mandate we shall stand. On your mandate we shall stand. On your mandate. On your mandate. On your mandate we shall stand. On your mandate we shall stand. On your mandate we shall stand. On your mandate. On your mandate. On your mandate we shall stand. APC. APC. AP&C. Arise. Arise. Akwa Ibom Youth United. United for Moeno. United for Moeno 2027. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. We'll now go into the question and answer session. One of our viewers have asked that I should ask the MP and Honorable Commissioner that you just led a team of young people to endorse and adopt President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Governor Umoino, and distinguished Senator Godswill Okpabio for 2027. And incidentally, the member representing Oron Federal Constituency, the member representing Abak Federal Constituency, the member representing Akwa Ibom State Constituency, and the member representing Uyo State Constituency are here, and that you have not also made a case for them. The viewer asked me to ask you why this team have not made a case for all those persons. So I'll now take the next question. Ubong, please, let's have one microphone. Chairman AKBC TV.
Good morning, very dear esteemed guest. You're welcome. My name is Eyareno Paul, and I work with AKBC TV. My question is simple. Looking at this table, I've not seen any woman. And as a woman, I'm scared, I'm worried. Why is my gender not carried along?
Distinguished, how will I say it, youths, Akwa Ibom youths. I like to say that I am very warmed by the fecundity of options that are available for youths. We have a lot of distinguished people. I'm happy to see several commissioners, leadership persons, and I wish all the coming endorsements will be like this, smooth, sharp. However, I'd like to ask, what are the expected outcomes of this advocacy for continuance? You know, you people have said that these three leaders have done so well. If they have done so well, they have satisfied the youth. Why would you want them to go back? I have not also heard what gaps they are supposed to fill in their second term. So could you tell us what are your expected outcomes? Thank you very much.
Good morning, all. My name is Brendan Ekanem, and I write for the I newspaper. Please, I want to. My own is not actually a question, but it's an SOS to our beloved governor. And it's in the aspect of their rights employment. It's a welcome development for the youths of Akwa Ibom State, and in that direction, according to the leadership of Akwa Ibom Youth United, our governor is doing very well. But I want to use this platform to send an SOS to our beloved governor that about 12,500 youths have been scheduled for the next phase of interview. And out of these 12,500 youths, it's only 3,000 that is going to be recruited into the civil service. And a lot are going to be going home. So I want to plead that at least our beloved governor, that is a lover of the youths in Akwa Ibom State, should at least do something in this direction by at least employing 10,000 youths out of the 12,500. And this will help in the empowerment of youths in Akwa Ibom State. The youths will be happy. A lot of youths will be out of the streets. This is my SOS to our beloved governor. Thank you so much.
Hello. My name is Samuel Jacob Abasekong. I write for News Authority newspaper. The endorsement has been made. I wish in the endorsement we should add this other clause that by the grace of God. Yes, more so that it is my member, Otto Bob, who made this announcement, this endorsement. I wish you say, by the grace of God. Be it as it may, if this governor, the governor, which, if you ask me, I will want him to return, the two other persons, by the grace of God, if they return, they are the center. I have an appeal for them that they should, all these things they've named, the airport, this and that, there is no one that is affecting our people down in the village. I want the president of this country, if he will return by the grace of God, to do something about the cost of groceries in the market. How are we going to survive? Are we even going to survive in 2027? The person who may talk about the first spokesperson for this organization talked about the fuel subsidy and all of that. Things are still the same. This morning, what has happened to me in my house is affecting all of you there. I gave my wife 5,000 naira to make just stew. She said, Ikemo. I said, how much should I ask? She said, 1,000. I added 1,000. She said, Ikeme. I have to walk away because I was told about the press conference. I left her alone. Just for stew for 2 days. So,
one house. It is very obvious that 6,000 naira can no longer afford a pot of stew.
Hello.
Yes.
Greetings to everybody. Season greetings. My name is Wime Kwere, and I report for the Global Concord newspapers. Mr. Chairman, sir, I heard the introduction very well. I look at the faces very well. All the introductions, I've not heard about anybody who is not engaged with the government. Everybody here,
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. My name is Idoge Sidasha Berry. I work with Daily Independent newspaper. I heard the spokesperson mention buses for public schools in Akwa Ibom State. So I'd love to know which of the schools are benefiting from the buses. And secondly, I really love to know what is really exciting Akwa Ibom youth about President Muhammad. Bola Ahmed Tinubu. What's that very exciting thing that Akwa Ibom youth are running after him for? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Very dear colleagues, I'd like to make one short appeal. We've taken like 7 questions now. We've taken like 7 questions or 8. So let me allow the leadership of Akwa Ibom Youth United to respond to them. Then if there is a need, we'll take 3 more and then call it a day. Chairman Planning Committee.
Thank you very much, the chairman, NUJ, ladies and gentlemen of the press. I'd like to invite the Honorable Commissioner, Ministry of Information, who has all the information to answer these questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, the conveners and team members, the chairman and UJ, our host, the honorable member representing the good people of Oron Federal Constituency, Rep. Martin Sesson, honorable member representing the good people of Abak, Itimegweka Federal Constituency, Honorable Clement Jimbo, the leader of the Akwa Ibom State House of Assembly, Right Honorable Otobombo, member of the Akwa Ibom State House of Assembly, the Honorable Kapo himself, honorable commissioners that are here present, the ambassador and chairman of the State Environmental Protection Agency, Obong Ikum, youth leader of the APC and the SSA youth, all our reporters and journalists in the house. Oh, first, we're all reporters in the first instance. So whatever is your rank, you must first be a reporter, and you end as a reporter. So I thank you so much. A few questions have come up here, and I think before I go into answering the questions, let me thank and commend the lead person who led in the briefing, and the Honorable Commissioner for Youth, Dr. Kerete Alphonsus, who amplified the briefing for all the kind words they expressed about the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency Distinguished Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, and His Excellency the Senate President, Senator Dr. Godswill Akpabio, GCON, and especially His Excellency the Governor of Akwa Ibom State, Pastor Omo Eno, PhD. Well, they are simply echoing what we already know. His Excellency the Governor of Akwa Ibom State and our leader has never minced words or hidden his admiration or the admiration of this state to President Tinubu. He made this very clear even before he made the historic decision of the 6th of June of a man who saw tomorrow of moving to the APC. He has never hidden that. He has never hidden his support and respect for the Senate President, His Excellency Senator Godswill Akpabio, and the call for the collective support of Akwa Ibom people for their return to continue their good works. Neither has he hidden his support for himself and the support of Akwa Ibom people for himself as a governor who will return to the Hilltop Mansion in 2027. So coming out of that, in the briefing, a few things were highlighted about the economic reforms that's currently being championed by the president. And I think for discerning minds, we should all see that these reforms are gradually finding its very strong footings in the nation. For the first time, Forex is stabilizing and coming down gradually. And like he did mention, for the first time, we're going through a yellow tide without fuel scarcity. It is all these reforms that have made these things possible. And a lot more are happening. We are seeing a lot of federal interventions coming in our area. We are seeing even the coastal highway that the federal government is building, passing through our own state, and work has actually started. And a lot other initiatives of the president that we are also benefiting from as a state. For the Senate President, all of us are also witnesses, particularly in Ikot Ibom Senatorial District where we come from, of the several interventions, projects, people's human capital development, appointments, and so many things that have occurred in the state as a result of the president ensuring that Akwa Ibom had the benefit of having the number 3 citizen of the country. And I think this is a thing of pride for us as a state and as a people, having the Senate President. The last time in the entirety of the South-South this ever happened was during the time of MPN, during the time of Senator Joseph Wires, over 45 years to 50 ago. And now we have that benefit. And I think, like the governor would always say, it is something we must celebrate, it's something we must encourage and support, so that Akwa Ibom will continue to be in that upper echelon of the leadership of Nigeria. And when Rev. Esin was speaking, he tried highlighting a few of His Excellency the Governor's projects. But I think he forgot to mention the 350-bed international hospital that is under construction there at the medical corridor. I'm sure the Commissioner for Health was also looking to the left to see how he forgot such a magnificent project. He forgot to mention the gargantuous Arise Palm Resort. He forgot, because the tourism drive of His Excellency Pastor Umono in Akwa Ibom State is very well primed in that project, and I'm sure most of you know it. So I needed to also bring you to speed on some of these interventions. Human capital development. People talked about youth development. The 368 ward PAs, over 80% are youths. Over 80% are youths in Akwa Ibom State. All 369%, if you go by the Akise wards, over 80% are youths. Youth appointment was also mentioned. So many things are going on in the state. A lot of our youths are benefiting from the human capital interventions. He did mention Ibom-led. Yes, over 2,500 at the moment, including female youths. Female youths are serious beneficiaries. If you get to Dasak, over 4,500 in one course or the other have passed through different training and so on, equipping them for better life for themselves. These are some of the youth interventions alongside. We tend to forget the bursary and the grants to students, grants to all of those. So the payment of bursary, support to young people in the universities and other higher institutions. These are still our youths benefiting from the administration of His Excellency Pastor Umono in various ways. The last empowerment program that went on, over 80%, even about 90%, were youths, from vehicles to cash grants to the 5 million naira support that went to MSME owners in all 31 local government areas. If you sum up that, over 15 billion have been put in that direction already, including the farmers' grant, the traders' grant. A lot of our young people, they came out. So those who came up with this privately driven initiative by this set of young men you have seen here, saw what His Excellency the Governor is doing and decided to come out openly to honor this initiative and honor these men who have taken the youth of Nigeria and the youth of Akwa Ibom into account in the scheme of things. Who is the Minister of Youth in Nigeria today? How old is he? He's about 38 years old today. Ayodele. He's that young. Dr. Kerete Commissioner for Youth. I was the chairman of his wedding. I personally went to marry his wife for him. So you can imagine. And look at the young man here. He's sitting here as a commissioner for youth. And that is the governor making good the promise that in this current dispensation that the next commissioner for youth will be a youth. And he made good that promise. And the commissioner is seated here. And so many others. Right Honorable Tobong Bob had said his own. Kapo has said his own. And several. Somebody talked about old members of APC and new members and so on. The youth leader of the party is here. I don't know which one is old. It's Akwa Ibom United. So we're all in the same fold. Honorable Clement Jimbo is here. Am I correct? And so many others who are here. Somebody asked about Clement Awasian, the state youth leader of the APC. I had mentioned that already. And several others. So it's not about new or old. It's about Akwa Ibom United. That is why it is Akwa Ibom Youth United. It's a united front for good things. A united front for the continued development of Nigeria and Akwa Ibom State. Few questions came up regarding gender inclusion and so on. Our sisters are completely and totally included. And I've been reliably informed that they are busy mobilizing. When you get out to the work, you will see the women, you will see the female youth, you will see them in their numbers, and you will be excited and pleased to be a woman asking that question. And I'm sure you would like to take off this orange uniform and lead from the front. Somebody talked about outcomes, the rise employment, about 12,000 people shortlisted. Yes, people went through the examination. The portal was open, they registered, and then they went through the CBT examinations at the Secretariat. Those who made the expected pass in the first instance came to 12,500. But the governor of Akwa Ibom did not leave them there. He now approved billions of naira as transport and allowances for everyone. All of the people who registered and wrote that exams. He approved money for them to at least cater for their coming and going and giving them logistics. And it ran into billions of naira. We should also appreciate these things. It didn't say because they did not pass or they did not meet the expected credit line, but it said, oh, you've done well, have this, try again and again. So out of this number, yes, 4,000 people will be engaged in the civil service, including the healthcare sector in the first instance. 2,000 in the healthcare sector and 2,000 in the teaching and core civil service. That is the starting point. But that is not the end of employment opportunities in the state, as put forward by His Excellency. We have, by statistics, more than 12,000 people engaged in various project sites, in various direct and indirect employment that's going on in the state under the administration of Governor Omono. Go to the International Hospital construction site now and see the number of Akwa Ibom people, including young people, who are providing services, who are working, who are employed daily. Job or work is not just by being employed in the civil service. That is not the only job that is available to be done by people on earth. There's so much job going on and people are earning and doing well. Go to a Rice Palm Resort. You will see the thousands of Akwa Ibom people in their numbers who are working, providing services, supplying goods, and so on daily at those project sites. If you go to Ibom Model Farm now, you will see the people working both in the farm assets and the non-farm assets. Those who are working at the farm hotel construction site, those who are working in the main core farm assets part, and so on and so forth. Ditto for all projects and different things that's going on in the state, including those who have engaged in various businesses, those who have benefited from various grants, and so on. So work and job is not just by being employed in the civil service. There are people who make the money that's paid to a civil servant, including up to a director, monthly, in a day, by just doing their work and businesses. So we must begin to unbundle our thoughts to understand that it is not just in one direction. You can, yes, be employed in the service, but you can also offer services. Urban Prince Ikemia will tell you how many people are in the employ of the Environmental Management and Sanitation and Management Agency every day, who are keeping to managing the environment, sweeping, those who are in the town sweep, those who are in refuse management and collection. They are in their thousands earning every day, including small companies that are earning up to 250, 500,000 every month, supporting what is happening in the environmental management sector. So we need to have this understanding so that our people will know that it is not just a civil service. The other issue someone raised, I think we are getting to what is exactly, I guess we have tackled all of the questions raised. So we want to thank you for all that you have asked. And which one? Buses. Buses to school. Oh, the CNG buses will soon be on ground. The CNG buses will soon be on ground. And of course, when the structure is worked out, it will be subsidized. And then right now, the CMD terminal is being built right now, including the refuel station. That will be running around the city and picking people from these different places. But of course, 50 units in the first instance. 50 in the first instance, and more will follow. Thank you. We answer that first. I thank you.
Thank you very much. Let's celebrate the Oral Commissioner. He has tried. Has he not tried? Gentlemen, please, one house. One house. Let's finish in one piece. On the issue of gender, the Commissioner mentioned that the female gender are busy mobilizing. And I saw Heidi Micah here. She took permission to go and come back. No, they are not in the other room. So very distinguished colleagues, let me invite the chairman of the planning committee to please give us his parting shots. After then, all journalists will please remain, but we'll detail some to go with you on the roadwork.
Thank you very much, the chairman of NUJ, ladies and gentlemen of the press, honorable commissioners, member representing Abak Itimekwoika Federal Constituency, and himself, the deputy chairman of the House of Representatives Committee on National Planning and Economic Development, the Renewed Hope Ambassador for Akwa Ibom State. Thank you very, very much for your time and cooperation. It's an entire day for the youth of Akwa Ibom State. We are expecting about 100,000 youths of Akwa Ibom State on a street walk and street party. And I'm using this opportunity to invite the gentlemen and ladies of the press to also join us in that walk, where they will see all manners of youth represented, from male youth to female youth to special youth with disabilities, and all the entire demography will be represented. So it's going to be a day full of activity. As we leave the press center now, we'll proceed to commission the Arise Compassionate Automobile Workshop that was graciously donated by the youth-friendly governor of Akwa Ibom State, His Excellency Pastor Umoino, PhD, to a female youth. So I want our sister who was talking about defending the gender to know that the greatest beneficiary of today's event is a female youth of Akwa Ibom State. And His Excellency the Governor has directed that the Arise Compassionate Automobile Workshop, fully fitted, should be commissioned and handed over to her today. So from these points, I invite the ladies and gentlemen of the press to come and see for themselves the automobile workshop. And then from there, we'll move to Ibom Hall grounds, where, as I speak to you, over 10,000 youths are already gathered and waiting to do the street walk. Other youths are going to join. The street walk is actually built to commence by 2 p.m. And the report reaching us now is that we have over 10,000 on ground and more are coming. and more will join us as we do the work. And you will see 100,000 youth of Akwa Ibom State. I invite you to join us on the walk. The walk will start at Ibom Hall grounds. We'll move through Aka Road. We'll get to Plaza. And then from Plaza, we'll find our way into the Willington Bassey Way. And then we'll all be at the Globe at Willington Bassey Way, where we'll be expecting our very special guest of honor, the father of Akwa Ibom State, the leader of Akwa Ibom State, the father of the youth of Akwa Ibom State, both male and female, His Excellency Pastor Umo Eno, PhD, who will be there in person to address the youth of Akwa Ibom State this evening. And after the governor's address, we will all retire back to the Xmas village to do the happy hour. And the Commissioner for Culture and Tourism is here, and by the time we get to the Christmas village, he becomes the process owner at the Christmas village. And then it will be till Mama calls. So it is going to be a very long day of activities for the youth of Akwa Ibom State. And then I invite you to join us. Thank you for your cooperation. Thank you for your understanding. And God bless you all.
Mr. Chairman, I have a question for the press. Please, who is the PDP candidate for Osun State governorship election? Question for you. Who is the candidate? No candidate. You can see that Governor Mono is a man who saw tomorrow.
NUJ Chairman, you meet the Commissioner for Information